Alright, Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou just took place, and we're not even here to talk about any of that, alright? There's no setup, no nothing needed, because Francis Ngannou went in there and basically got obliterated by Anthony Joshua, right? He got knocked out in the second round. I don't mean to laugh because I'm an MMA guy. I was rooting for Francis. It sucks to see, and we're gonna get into all this because there's so many questions. What's next for Anthony Joshua? What's next for Francis Ngannou? Was this a case of Anthony Joshua just being so good, or was this a case of Francis Ngannou just not being as good as we all thought he was? How does Tyson Fury fit into all this, with Tyson Fury, potentially even losing to Francis Ngannou, arguably losing, and him being known as one of the best heavyweights? But now that Anthony Joshua has beaten him even more decisively with no question about it, it leads to a lot of questions about Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, and everything like that. We're going to talk about all that and more, but first, I want to remind you guys to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. We're almost at 12K, guys. All you guys have to do is hit the subscribe button, also comment and like and all that. That helps the algorithm so much and suggests my videos to others. But as always, I want to thank my sponsor, betting.bet. Betting.bet, as you guys know, is a website that has been supporting this channel throughout this whole week, because UFC 299 is today, right? It's later today. If you guys want to place your bets, go in the link in the description. You can get all information regarding betting lines, sports books, and everybody's picks, including my picks. My picks are going to be on the website soon, so go check it out there, guys. It's a great website and great people there too. And remember, it's 18 and plus, and gamble responsibly. Also, guys, make sure to hit the link in the description for my Discord server. We're going to have great conversations throughout UFC 299. If you guys want to hear my live reaction, I'm going to be texting in the chat live, talking to y'all, so you guys can hear my initial thoughts before the next day when there's a video. But guys, we're here to talk about Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou. Now, this fight seemed even. Francis Ngannou having crazy knockout power, with Anthony Joshua sometimes getting knocked out, having some on and off performances, and I thought he was coming off of one of the greatest performances of his career against Otto Wallin, so I had a lot of expectations for AJ, and I had predicted a 9th round or 10th round or even a decision win for Anthony Joshua. I thought he would try to break him down, be aggressive with the jab, land some body shots, feign, keep Ngannou on the back foot, and try to break him down, and I thought that eventually the cardio would wear out, and I thought Anthony Joshua would take over as the fight progressed, but he didn't even need to do that, because Anthony Joshua looked phenomenal. We get to the first round, Ngannou landed some good right hands that, caught the glove of Anthony Joshua, but like I've mentioned to you guys before, 10 ounce on 10 ounce gloves is a big difference. This is an MMA where, yeah, those 4 ounce gloves, they're gonna slip through the guard, right? They're gonna get around there, but those big gloves, there's a lot of room to just block, right? If you put your hands up, we've talked about this in the past, it's a lot different than MMA, so we see Anthony Joshua have a lot of cushion, including the cushion on Francis Ngannou's glove. The power just isn't there as much, right? And of course, he does hit hard, but that was what I was saying in the build. He landed a good overhand, I believe, in the first round that caught the glove, and at the end of the first round, Anthony Joshua lands a right hand. Now, this right hand was just money for Anthony Joshua. He kept landing it on Francis Ngannou. He knocks him down in the first round, and, Francis Ngannou looked shocked. Like, he was like, what was that? What happened? And I was like, look, maybe it's a balance issue. Maybe, this is his new sport. This is boxing. This is an MMA. You kind of have to hold yourself a little bit different. So maybe it was a balance issue, but then we get to the second round, and Anthony Joshua, he's landing beautiful jabs to the body, slipping, getting comfortable with the power of Ngannou. I think he got confidence. I think he said, look, I can handle the power a little bit. He ate that overhand. It did catch the glove, yes, but he didn't get, wobbled. And I think he got some confidence as the fight went on, and then we see him knock him down with a perfect picture right hand on the temple, really rocked Ngannou. Ngannou had no legs, got up, and immediately a right hand flattens Ngannou out. Ngannou is out cold. They have oxygen on him, and yeah, it was a really crazy knockout. Great job from Anthony Joshua setting up the shot, setting up that right hand, and I feel like Anthony Joshua has confirmed what I said in my prediction video, that he has now found the perfect flow between being patient, being technical, sticking behind that jab, and using his feints, and being that once destroyer he was, going in the pocket, landing that power. He is, in my opinion, the most dangerous he has ever been in his career. I mean, the fact that he's able to mix this up brilliantly. I know he's got some new coaches, so I'm sure that they have a lot to do with it too. And Anthony Joshua, a great performance from him. And look, let's answer the first question. What happened to Ngannou? Ngannou looked so good in that Tyson Fury fight. Guys, I have said, I don't think Tyson Fury took that fight serious, man. Even when you see in the first round, he's playing with Ngannou, it seemed like he really took him for granted. And I think Ngannou hit him hard. And I think Tyson Fury, he was already too deep in the fight, or was already hurt. And I think he lost the fight. I think in a rematch, I think it would look very different against Fury and Ngannou. Not sure if he gets it done like this, but I think it does look a little more dominant for Fury. I also thought Ngannou didn't really get to do a lot of the things that made him successful in the first fight, such as switching stances, and I felt like he was a bit more patient in that Tyson Fury fight. I feel like the overconfidence from Ngannou really got to him. I mean, you even see him throughout the week. I mean, he's putting on the sunglasses, he's talking his shit. I mean, that's not usually who Ngannou is. I really felt like in the build-up, he was getting really cocky. You can't do that in boxing. You can't overextend, right? In MMA, you're allowed to. There's kicks, there's, takedowns, there's other things, and nobody's really a perfect boxer in MMA, but in this sport, where it's only focused on punching and countering, where this sport is focused on not getting hit and hitting other people, yeah, you can't overextend, man. That is just Anthony Joshua's bread and butter. He knocks him out with that right hand. You can't overextend like that. It's just too reckless. You gotta be a little more defensively sound if you're Francis Ngannou, especially against a guy like Anthony Joshua, who we know could put the lights out of his opponents. So I think it's a little bit of a mixture of both. I think Ngannou didn't get to settle into this fight and show a lot of the things that made him good, and I also also think he was a little bit over ambitious in this fight, maybe a little too cocky. While I also think that Tyson Fury wasn't really at his best in that fight. Like I showed you guys in the last video, Tyson Fury fighting Francis Ngannou versus how he looked like a couple weeks ago when he was supposed to fight Alexander Usyk are two different fighters. Fury looked in a lot better shape a couple weeks ago, which tells me maybe he wasn't necessarily training to his fullest, and he probably underestimated Ngannou. I mean, everybody did. I thought the fight with Fury would look like this fight, but let's talk about where do these guys go next. Ngannou can go back to MMA. He most likely would fight Renan Ferreira. I don't think he has as much room to negotiate with the PFL. If he would have won this fight, I think the PFL would have been in a lot of shit and probably not getting Ngannou back in MMA. But after this, I think Ngannou should go back to MMA, go back to his roots, get a win there. I mean, he could very much win against Renan Ferreira. I mean, that's a really good matchup for him. Ferreira just coming off of a win against Ryan Bader at that PFL versus Bellator fight. So he can fight him, and that's an interesting matchup because Ferreira is very tall, he's very rangy, and he's coming off of a good knockout, a fast finish over Ryan Bader. And I think that fight has some traction. I think that's a fight I would tune in for. And it's a potential that, look, he beats him, he gets the win, and he moves on and gets back into boxing, you know, gets back in his roots, gets that MMA win, gets his confidence back, go back to the boxing world, maybe faces the loser of Usyk versus Fury. I mean, that's a bit ambitious, but maybe he gets a Dillian White instead or something like that. Maybe a lower ranked heavyweight, get back in boxing with the win, maybe face a level up again. I think that's the best way he can get back to the top of boxing's heavyweight division. But a lot of things have to pan out. He still has to beat Renan, he still has to beat Dillian White or a guy of that level. I mean, this is a brutal knockout from Francis Ngannou, and it kind of begs the question, was Dana White right in all of this? Now, from a financial point of view, of course, Francis Ngannou did benefit. He should have left the UFC. He made $20 million for this fight. I don't care. I'm getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua for $20 million. Like, if Anthony Joshua needs me next month or 2 months later, I don't care. Tomorrow, I'm going there. I'm flying to Saudi Arabia. I'll get knocked out by Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua both in the same night for 20 mil. But this ain't about me, all right? This is about Ngannou. He's got a future in fighting, or at least he did. And now, look, he got knocked out brutally from Anthony Joshua, and this is going to be a case where he goes over to the PFL, loses to Ferreira, and then what's next of him? I mean, that's a serious possibility. And then the PFL would be really fucked. Like, if I were the PFL, I'd be steamed. And for Anthony Joshua, it looks like the winner for him is Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Now, that could be a problem if Usyk does win that fight. Now, I don't know who I'm predicting in that fight. I used to go with Fury. I don't know anymore, and now I'm seeing Fury's shape, and I'm kind of leaning back towards Fury. I don't know. I'm going to make a prediction when we get closer to that fight. But my point is it could very well be Usyk. Usyk could win that fight based on his volume, based on his boxing IQ, based on his speed, and I think he could definitely volume up Tyson Fury and win a decision. And if that's the case, do we really want to see a trilogy fight between Usyk and Joshua? Honestly, I actually wouldn't mind that. I think Joshua has changed a lot since that last fight, but I do think that Anthony Joshua would probably do best with a warm-up fight. Maybe he gets a warm-up fight, and then at the end of the year, he meets up with Fury or Usyk, whoever that is. I think if it's Fury and AJ, I think that fight needs to happen in the UK. I don't know if that should happen in Saudi. Maybe that's the only way the fight can happen because both these guys probably want all that money, but I think that would be an awesome fight to have in the UK in Wembley Stadium. That's a massive fight for the UK. A lot has to happen till we get to that point, guys. Don't worry. And there might be even a rematch between Fury and Usyk. So, like I said, I think there's a few options. Let me touch on the co-main event between Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang. At first, it looked like Zhang was going to win this fight, right? It seemed like he was winning. He got the knockdown, and then Joseph Parker showed his toughness, really out-volumed him despite getting knocked down later. I thought that he got the decision right. It was semi-close, but I thought that Joseph Parker should have won the fight. I think that was the correct winner, and what a win from Joseph Parker. I mean, that is a fight that could be made between him and Anthony Joshua. That is totally realistic. Their first fight happened in 2018. I mean, that would be a good rematch, a good warm-up fight, but Joseph Parker isn't easy either. I think if Tyson Fury wins and Joshua rematches Parker, I mean, I think that reignites the beef between Fury because Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury are friends. So, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys check out my UFC 299 predictions. Guys, tomorrow I'm going to be posting a video about UFC 299, my reaction to the event. It's happening tonight, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA, and thank you betting.bet for all of the support, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.